to the show. Today I'm at Wine Connection in Sukhumvit 47. I'll be talking to Canadian prolific author Christopher G. Moore about the murky underworld of crime fiction in Bangkok City. Let's go and talk to Christopher, see what he has to say. Let's start decoding Bangkok. Hi Christopher, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Keith.
Thanks for being here and happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So Christopher, what brought you to Thailand?
I first came to Thailand in 1983. I was a young academic at the University of British Columbia, a law professor there, and I spent some time in Asia, in Tokyo and Seoul and Hong Kong, and came to Bangkok. And then in 1988 I came back again at the end of '88 to do research for a book. And I thought I'd come, I had a 90-day visa, do the research, take the notes, go back home, write it, next. 27 years later, I'm still here, still researching.
What inspired you to become a crime writer in the first place?
That's a good question. I think there are a number of factors. And my background is law, so I trained as a lawyer. I was a law professor.
Law and crime makes sense.
Law, crime, there is a connection on both sides of that equation. And probably a turning point was in the early 80s. It was after I'd first come to Thailand. A former student of mine who was a police officer in England had a place in New York, invited me, so I went there, and he arranged for me to do ride-alongs with the NYPD. So I was out with the New York police for about 6 months as civilian observer, and I got hooked on the whole crime scene of going to various places where crimes had been committed and being part of that process.
So you actually saw some of the scenes?
Absolutely, yes.
You know, how many books do you have to date?
It kind of depends how you count, but it's something around 34 books. There's 15 books in the Calvino series. There are 10 standalone novels. There's a novelette. There are a number of anthologies. There are some non-fiction books like Heart Talk, which is one of the books I brought along today, about the Thai culture and Thai language.
Marriage Tree.
Marriage Tree is part of the Calvino series. So I've been doing about a book a year since 1985.
Incredible amount of work. So as a lawyer, do you ever feel sorry for your characters in the books?
Well, since I'm responsible for putting them there, if I feel sorrow, it's a little bit on my responsibility in my head.
Christopher, if you had to base your crime novels in another country, where would that be?
You know, I've set novels in a number of different places. Again, the Calvino series, 0 Hour in Phnom Penh is set in Cambodia during the UNTAC period. I was there as a journalist covering that period. And that novel came out in '94. And then I was in Vietnam as well, doing legal work in Vietnam in the early '90s. And I set a novel there called Comfort Zone, which came out in 1995, which again was a very crucial time in the development of that country. In Cambodia, I caught that UNTAC, the constitutional crises of trying to put together after the Khmer Rouge. And then Comfort Zone was looking really at the post-embargo Vietnam. And then Burma in Missing in Rangoon, just as it starts to open up to the West. So I've tried to be in the places just as there's been a wave of new change coming in to try to capture that excitement, that drama, that conflict.
We're very lucky to have you documenting all these things throughout the years. Is there a possibility of seeing Vincent Calvino on the big screen? Any things in the works?
I light a candle and incense every day to an altar to make that happen. And the option is with a very good production company, Film Nation, in Hollywood. And they've done all kinds of films from Michael Clayton starring George Clooney, the Imitation Game involving Alan Turing in Britain. And they're really committed. They've been in the Calvino business now for a number of years, and I have contact with them every month or so. They're updating me, and it looks promising for either a feature film or for a TV series.
What would be your advice then to a writer, an up-and-coming budding writer, written his first book, trying to get a publishing deal?
You know, advice is kind of cheap. There are so many different ways to do it. It's a little bit like a musician, though. You have to be realistic.
Yeah.
It's not a profession. You don't go to law school. You don't go to medical school to be a writer or a trumpet player or a painter.
Yeah.
A lot of it just depends on just sheer luck, random choice. You know, you see this in music, right? You'll see someone on stage and they got 70,000 people in the audience screaming and yelling and they can't get enough of them. And you'll go into some hotel lounge bar and you'll hear this fantastic singer and there are a dozen people, you know, talking amongst themselves and drinking and ignoring what they're hearing, not knowing they're in the presence of huge talent.
Yeah, that's right.
The world is not a fair place. That's the first thing you learn. And if you have a sense of entitlement, I'm a great writer, and the world will embrace me, you may be disappointed. You have to do the music, you have to do the painting, you have to do the writing, because you have an obsession with it. You love it. It's a way of expressing who you are, your deepest feelings, your deepest emotions, and that is the journey itself. If others share that and learn from that, then that's a good thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher G. Moore, thank you for being on the show. And
Thank you,
happy
Peter.
birthday to you.
Thank you.
All right.
And thanks to a great crew for setting this up.
Yeah,
Very professional.
They're a great
Well
crew.
done.
I love working with a
Yeah.
great team. And thank you to the audience. And we'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.